The universe is unimaginably vast, and you are small, almost nothing by comparison. For a lot of people, that realization feels terrifying. But what if it doesn't have to be? What if being small isn't a flaw, but a relief? What if realizing you don't have to carry everything is actually permission to breathe? Most of us were taught that our lives had to be big, important, remembered. And we spend so much energy trying to prove that we matter, trying to justify our existence. It's exhausting. Somewhere along the way, we stopped letting existence be enough. We started measuring our lives by visibility, by achievement, by impact, as if a life only counts when it leaves a permanent mark. But the universe has existed for nearly 14 billion years, and it has never once asked to be impressed. Somewhere along the way, we learned that being ordinary wasn't enough, that we had to leave a mark, that our lives needed to mean something to everyone. But no human was built to carry cosmic expectations. Look at a star. It doesn't earn its place in the sky. It doesn't question its worth. It simply exists. There are more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on every beach on Earth. Most of them will never be named, never be studied, never be seen. And yet, they burn anyway. They don't wait for recognition. They don't need witnesses. They are not diminished by their anonymity. And somehow, that's enough. From far away, Earth is just a pale dot, tiny, fragile, suspended in darkness. And yet that tiny dot holds every laugh, every tear, every quiet moment of love anyone has ever known. Being small doesn't erase meaning. It makes meaning possible. If you're small in the universe, then you were never meant to solve everything. You were never meant to carry everyone. You were never meant to impress eternity. And that's okay. Smallness gives you permission to rest, permission to choose kindness over greatness, permission to live quietly and still live fully. A speck can still feel pain. A speck can still feel love. A brief moment can still matter deeply. You don't have to matter to the universe to matter to someone sitting next to you. Meaning doesn't disappear just because it isn't infinite. We talk a lot about legacy, about being remembered, about leaving something behind. But most of the universe doesn't remember. Galaxies collide and dissolve. Stars burn out without witnesses. Entire worlds exist for billions of years and leave no record at all. And yet none of that makes their existence pointless. Maybe life isn't meant to be permanent. Maybe it's meant to be experienced. A song doesn't need to last forever to matter. A conversation doesn't need to echo through history to change someone. Some things are valuable because they end. When you stop worrying about legacy, you start noticing time. This hour, this breath, this quiet moment where nothing remarkable happens, except that you're here. And maybe that's enough. One day, almost all of us will be forgotten. And strangely, that doesn't make today meaningless. It makes it lighter. When you accept that you are small, something loosens. The future doesn't need to bend around you. History doesn't need your approval. You're free to focus on what's near, what's quiet, what's human. A conversation, a moment of understanding, a kindness that never echoes beyond the room. You're allowed to be small. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to exist without explanation. If none of this is permanent, then maybe permanence was never the goal. Maybe we're not here to build monuments or to prove ourselves to time. Maybe we're here to notice. To notice when the light changes in a room, when someone's voice softens, when a moment feels heavier than it looks. Those things don't scale. They don't accumulate. They don't survive the universe. But they shape us anyway. A small life isn't an unfinished one. It's just a life lived at human scale. And human scale is where care exists, where empathy fits, where meaning can be felt instead of proven. You don't need the universe to notice you. You only need to notice each other. That's not insignificance. That's focus. In a universe this vast, being a speck might be exactly enough.